All right, we're recording, so we'll get started here. For those of you who haven't met me, my name is Sarah Torbert, and I work at the State 4-H office. My job is mostly to deal with volunteers and volunteer development, but I also recently took on all of the event planning for the State 4-H program. So I'm working currently on not only some work with volunteers, but planning some of our upcoming events, one of those being Showcase Showdown. My experience has been that maybe not everybody knows what Showcase Showdown is or how you can get involved or what it takes to get here. So I thought I'd spend a few minutes, probably 30 to 40 minutes, just talking to you a little bit about Showcase Showdown. Feel free to ask questions, and I can try to answer them as best I can. So for those of you who may not have heard of Showcase Showdown or just kind of want some better explanation, it's really just a place where young people in 4-H ages 18, no clover buds, and also volunteers can participate in contests and workshops. Currently, the event takes place here at the University of Wyoming, just mostly because of convenience for us here at the state office and our ability to be able to use the facilities. We realize it's not the most convenient for everybody out in the counties, but it's kind of worked for us to highlight UW as a school that we're a part of. In addition to the contest, we also have some tours and activities planned this year, and it happens June 25th to 27th. So it's the course of 3 days. It's basically from a Tuesday to a Thursday. We have award ceremonies on Wednesday night and on Thursday afternoon to award the people who are in the contest. We also try to have other activities, and we'll go through what those are throughout this little workshop. So one thing you may be wondering is, how much does it cost? Is it affordable for your family? We try to make it as most affordable as possible. We do subsidize a large portion of it here at our State 4-H office. So if you want to come for the 3 days and you want your lodging paid for, all of your food, you get a shirt, any contest or events that you want to enter, it's $100 per person. So if you have parents, if you want to take a family adventure and there's 5 of you, it would cost you $500 total. If you just want to come for one night and 2 days instead of all 3, that's $80 for that one night of lodging, and then 3 meals, either if it's on Tuesday that you come, would be the Tuesday evening meal, and then Wednesday morning and afternoon, and then the meals that are left would be if you stayed Wednesday evening. If you just want to pay for meals and you want to find your own lodging, maybe at a hotel or a friend's house, it's $80 for all the meals, the shirt, the contest, and the event. And then if you're just coming to hang out and you are going to get your own meals and your own lodging, then it's $25 for the shirt, contest, and event. A lot of your counties will subsidize this cost, so please talk to them before you worry about how much it's going to cost you. I know our kids are a part of the Albany County 4-H program, and they pay the $25 commuter package. If our kids did want to eat meals, we'd have to pay the difference in that cost. And when I talk about contests and events, anything I'm going to talk about throughout this workshop includes all your workshops, tours, anything that you would do is all included in that price. There's no additional fees for specific workshops, or if you want to do some of our Tuesday events or anything, all of it is included in that $25. So let's kind of look at each day and what happens throughout those days, and then I'll go through each of the contests to answer any questions you might have about those. So our Tuesday schedule has kind of been expanded. It used to just kind of be a few contests, and then we would have like an opening event. Well, this year we added some workshops and tours throughout the day. In addition, we also have our cake decorating contest, our produce judging contest, livestock skill-a-thon, and then the every person who signs up and pays that at least $25 gets a recreation pass to Half Acre, which is our on-campus gym. We'll host a dodgeball tournament that evening for anybody who wants to participate. They have a pool. It does not have a lifeguard on duty, but you can go swimming there. They actually have a climbing wall that you can use throughout the day. If you're 16 and older, you can climb after 5 as high as you want. If you're under 16, they have what's called, like, I forget what they call it, but you basically can climb up far enough where you can fall it out, not get hurt. That's open all day long. And then they have 5 or 6 gyms that you could play volleyball, basketball, if whatever you wanted to in. And they also have tons of workout equipment. So your $25 pass will cover a recreation pass for that entire day, including if you want to participate in the dodgeball tournament that evening. Some of the workshops that we already have planned for Tuesday, there may be more added, but these are solidified, is we will be taking an outdoor hike to Kurt Gowdy State Park. It's about a 4-mile total hike. It's up to the Hidden Falls at Kirkgowdy. So we'll leave about 2:30 and then come back at 6 p.m. The busing out to there and the Kirkgowdy entry fee is all included with your $25 or your $100, whatever package you pick. We'll have a tour of the Cowboy Athletic facility, so you can go see where the Cowboys play. You'll get to see where they work out, and there possibly maybe some athletes there that you could see what's going on there. So you'll get to see where they spend their time practicing. You get to go to Memorial Field and see what that looks like up close and personal, and probably even be able to walk on the field, something that's maybe not something we get to do all the time. One of our Goshen County 4-Hers is going to host a sip and paint workshop where you'll actually have the opportunity to paint a picture, and we'll have some punch or soda to make the sip part of it go on. And then we have a farm here on campus that our students run, and there'll be an opportunity to tour the farm with possible opportunities to help maybe work there and see some of the different types of produce that they're growing at the farm. So those are our 4 workshops that are on Tuesday. So you can see, even if you don't participate in a contest, it's well worth coming Tuesday because you could at least do 2 or 3 of the workshops that are listed. And I'll show you all how to sign up and how that works at the end of this presentation. So then we move to Wednesday. So Wednesday, we have more workshops and tours all day long. We do our presentation contest, which would be similar to a speaking or a demonstration contest. We have 2 different types. One's impromptu, which means you basically make it up when you get there. And one is a prepared speech or a demonstration using PowerPoint. We have our robotics contest, and we'll talk about what that looks like in a little bit. We have our food cook-off, and that's completely revamped this year, so I'm going to try to go over what's changed on that also. Hippology, horse judging, and then in the evening we have an award ceremony and followed by a dance. So once again, if you're coming just to hang out, there's lots of things for you to do throughout the day. So on Wednesday morning, we offer a variety of workshops. Our first one is our fishing trip, and so we go to a park here, Huck Finn Pond. You're guaranteed to catch a fish, but it is only for youth that are 12 and under because that's the pond regulations. We will have some fishing opportunities in the afternoon for older kids if they want to go. The livestock judging team here on campus is going to hold a livestock judging workshop where the kids will actually have the opportunity to go out to the farm and look at some beef, sheep, swine, and goats and evaluate them. We're doing Project Runway again. It's actually going to be a sweater upcycle runway. So start saving your old sweaters and we can turn them into, like it says, your boots, mittens, skirts, and even more. We're going to offer Project Runway different this year. We're going to offer one in the morning and one in the afternoon, but they'll be exactly the same. So you don't have to choose one or the other. You don't have to choose both. You just choose one or the other. In the past, Project Runway has been an all-day workshop, and that's been a little difficult for some people. So this year, we're just going to offer it twice. That way you can choose which one you want to go to. We're going to repeat the athletic tour that day. So if you didn't make it here on Tuesday, you could go on Wednesday. We have one of our interns doing a swing dancing workshop. She actually teaches here on campus, the swing dancing group, so she'll be great. One of our photographers here on campus is going to do a workshop in the morning for kids interested in photography, and then give them the chance to go and take a few pictures of contests and events happening, and then come back at 1 p.m. if you want to, and go through some critiques. So if you're looking for ways to boost your photography exhibits for the fair, this may be a great way to get that started. And those are just the morning workshops. So once again, you could probably do two or three of these if you're interested. In the afternoon, we'll offer some more great workshops. We're going to go back to Kirkgowdy State Park, but this time we're just going to do water activities. So kids could either go canoeing, fishing, and we'll also have paddle boards available, or they can just walk around the lake. This has the waterfall too, but I need to change that because that's going to actually be happening on Tuesday. Again, Project Runway's offered the same exact workshop in the afternoon. We have a group that's going to try a new activity called the Avian or Poultry Bowl Challenge. So if you want to get show your poultry skills or your bird skills, there'll be an opportunity to compete and win prizes. And then the State Youth Leaders Council is going to host a science fun activity where they'll have some hands-on science activities that youth or adults can participate in. So once again, another couple of workshops. These are pretty long ones. You may only be able to get one in, but you could definitely participate in a really cool workshop in the afternoon. And then our last day, Thursday, we have more workshops and tours, our dog skill-a-thon, our table setting, and then another award ceremony. So the workshop's on Tuesday. You can go over to our meats lab and make sausage and then eat it. So that's going to be a pretty cool workshop if you're into learning more about sausage making. They're going to have all kinds of spices that you can try out and make your own different meats in the meat lab. Again, we're going to host the Horse Knowledge Bowl competition. This is, once again, just a workshop, so it's not an actual one where you're going to compete for awards. It'll be given at an award ceremony, but it'll be small awards given out during that workshop. A group from Niobrara County is going to talk about beeswax, and youth who are entering this workshop can make chapstick, candles, lotion, and a native bee hotel, which I'm super interested to see what that's all about. And then in the afternoon, you can also go to the planetarium for the dome tour. And normally that costs you $3 or $4, and that's once again covered with your registration. And I'm going to show you where the workshops are listed online so you can go and look at them. There's another one that I don't think made it to this slide about actually making a cud-powered car. So cow cud, which is what they chew. They're going to make an actual car that runs. The engineering group here on campus is going to help you make your very own car that runs. So that's another one. So there's tons of cool things going on just in workshops. So if you're not a person that wants to compete in all the competitive events, you can just come to Showcase Showdown. You can go hang out at Half Acre and swim all day on Tuesday. You can do workshops. You can go to the dance on Wednesday, and you can do some more workshops on Thursday. So you don't have to participate in a contest to come to Showcase Showdown, which I think people have a misconception of. So just to let you know that. Haven't seen any questions here yet, but if you have them, feel free to ask. All right, I'm gonna now go through each of the different workshops to let you know, or different contests to let you know a little bit about what they're about and how you might wanna prepare if you're thinking about entering them. First of all, there's some things that are always the same with the contest. Our age categories are always the same. We have 3 individual age categories for contests that have individual age groups, and those are juniors who are 8 to 10, intermediates 11 to 13, and seniors who are 14 and older. This goes by your your December birthday. So however old you were on January 1st of this year is the age you're going to go by. If your birthday is January 1st, let's have a talk because then things get a little dicey. We then have team categories. Our juniors are youth who are 8 to 13, and our seniors are those who are 14 and older. You can only compete in your age category. You can't move up. So if you have a sibling that's 13 and 14, you can't put them on a senior team. You would have to find another junior or another senior group to participate with them, or you would have to just have them participate as an individual. So you can't switch age categories, not even moving up or down. That's not something that's allowed. When you give reasons in a contest, which I'll talk which those are, I believe it's produce judging and horse judging. The juniors will give, they will answer 4 questions instead of doing reasons, which are reasons are talking through how you place the class. Or they can choose to answer 3 questions and give 1 set of reasons. Intermediates always do 2 sets of questions and 2 sets of reasons, and our seniors always do 4 sets of reasons. That changed last year, so that's something that maybe you knew if you've competed in the past and didn't compete last year, is we made that consistent throughout all of our contests. Our awards are also consistent. We'll be giving awards to the top 10 individuals in each category. The top 3 will get a special award, a medal, an apron, a plaque, something. And then 4th through 10th, that should say, get ribbons. Then we give our top 5 teams in each age category an award. The top 2 teams, the Grand and Reserve, get some type of special award, plaque, medal, something. And then 3rd through 5th place, they get ribbons. So if you're looking to win some awards, entering in the contest will definitely give you the opportunity to do that. So the first contest I want to talk about is our cake decorating contest. So the cake decorating contest is held on Tuesday. We have shifts at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So the basics of it is that it's a team or individual contest. So you could decorate cake with a friend, or you can do it by yourself. You don't actually have to be in the cake decorating contest to do this event. So if you have a kid who is in the cake decorating contest and they need a partner because they want to do a team contest, the person they pick to help them or their sous chef or whatever does not have to be in cake decorating. That's not a requirement. You're going to actually decorate foam cakes, which we will give to you. So if you read down a little bit farther, if you're a team or a senior, you're going to get a rectangle or a half sheet cake. And then if you're a junior, you get a round cake to decorate, or an individual. or an intermediate individual. Basically what happens is the coordinator of the contest gives you a theme, and then you have 1 hour to decorate your cake. Only thing we provide is cake and frosting, white frosting. This was a huge issue last year. I think people thought we provided a lot more stuff, but you have to bring all your own coloring tips. The one thing people don't think about is a bowl to put your white frosting in to get it back to your table. Anything that you want to use, if you want to use fondant or sprinkles or anything else to decorate your cake, you can bring any of that with you. There aren't any rules as to what can and can't be put on your cake. There's just the rule that we only provide the frosting that's white. During that 1 minute, during the first 10 minutes, the coaches can actually help the juniors and intermediates. They can even assist with frosting the base of the cake if they want to. With the seniors, and they only get 5 minutes, and that's just to help them plan their design. They can't actually help them frost the cake. An issue we've had in this contest in the past is once that 10 minutes or 5 minutes is over, coaches and adults are not allowed to talk with the kids. So you just have to be careful to know that you only get that short amount of time to help kids out at the beginning of the contest. So once that's done, then the cakes are judged after the 3 o'clock round to see who gets the top cake, whether it be both teams and individuals in those different age categories that we discussed before. So it's kind of a fun contest. If you've never decorated a cake before, you may want to start or try beforehand to make sure you have all the supplies you need. But it's definitely not something where you have to be an avid cake decorator in order to be able to compete in this contest. And the other contest we offer on Tuesday is called produce judging, and it's literally what it says. You're judging fruits and vegetables. And so what that looks like, it's actually an individual contest. The counties will designate youth to get a team together to get awards, but the contest is done all by yourself. You will look at 8 different classes of produce. So what that means is you'll have like 4 stalks of celery or 4 bunches of celery together, and you're going to try to pick the one that you think is the best bunch of celery down to the one with the least desirable qualities of celery. Celery is just an example. I don't know if that'll actually be one. If it is, I don't know. So we buy the produce ahead of time, and we don't know at this point in time what produce we'll be using. In addition to that, you'll have to identify produce on a line, which is basically they'll have like 20 or 30. You can read the rules specifically to know how many different types of fruits and vegetables, and the kids will have to like write down, spelling doesn't count, just do your best, what those produce types are. A cool thing about this contest is that the top 2 seniors in the produce judging contest get $500 trip scholarships that they can use to go on different leadership events that they might want to go on, and they get a list of those when they win. So produce judging is a pretty easy contest. You do have to give reasons, which means you have to tell them why you placed the produce first, second, third, and fourth. Similar to what someone judging a livestock contest would do, but we're just using produce. So if you're not really into livestock or don't know a lot about it, this would be a great contest to try out. That day is also the livestock skill-a-thon contest. This is a team-only contest. So you have to find at least 2 other people in your age group to compete, because they actually work together to answer all the questions. If you have an individual who wants to come and check out what this is like to maybe go encourage their friends to come and join them next year, they can go through the contest, they can answer the questions, we can score those, but they don't receive awards because the contest is designed to be a team event. So what happens is there's different stations. That's why it's called a skill-a-thon station that the kids go around to, and they talk amongst themselves. They try to fill out whatever the answer to the questions at the different stations are. So there'll be a station probably about breed identification for cattle, sheep, swine, or goats, not all 4 usually. One about quality assurance, or that basically means the product you're producing. One about different kinds of feeds. One about placing animals, similar to the produce judging contest, but with animals. Identifying equipment you might use. And then at the end, they'll also have a group process where they're given a problem. And the junior problem is listed online before the contest. And then the senior question, it looks here like both of those are for this contest. And then they will have to present the answer to their problem to a panel of judges. In addition, seniors will also have questions about technology, wool, and meat science. So the team that wins this gets a $1,000 scholarship to participate in a national contest. So it's kind of a cool thing to do. And it's nice because if you have a kid that's a little bit more shy and doesn't like to, maybe is nervous about competing, getting a team of 3 to 5 kids together can really help those kids to feel more comfortable being able to compete at that level. So then when we move on to Wednesday, our first contest on Wednesday is called Film Fest. And so this is a contest you don't even have to show up to in order to do. You can actually do this from your home. This contest can be entered by a team of people or an individual, just because this is a little bit different because you're actually making a video. So you may need to use actors or actresses or people to help you that are a little bit older. One of the things you need to remember is last year we had a great video, but it was like 60 minutes long, and our contest does say it has to be 5 minutes in length. So you just make a video however you want to use it. We have some guides, or you can ask us what software you might want to use, but it's up to you completely. And then the films have to be created by the 4-H member. The footage has to be original, and they have to be created in the past 2 years. So if you have a kid who loves to make videos and they want to take something they made last year, they can do that because it just has to be the last 2 years. We're going to show the videos throughout the day in the business building where all of this is held on Wednesday, and then we'll offer those awards up Wednesday evening as part of our awards ceremony. So that's a really cool that you don't even actually have to come. And you can enter Film Fest. So maybe your club wants to do a film, or a couple people in your club want to do a film. That would be a great thing for us to be able to showcase as part of this event. Another contest we have is the robotics contest. And this robotics contest can be, and you don't have to be in the robotics project. Again, same thing, not required to compete. You can enter this contest as an individual or as a group. However, if you enter as a group, you're just going to compete as an individual. We don't give out team awards for this contest, we just give out, but if you have like 2 or 3 friends that all want to do the robots together, they're more than welcome to do that. The robotics contest, you can enter 1, 2, or 3 different challenges. The first one is construction. And if I remember, I think this year's construction has to do with an agricultural ranch situation, but it's online, so you can check that out, and I'll show you once again, show you where that is later. But you're going to construct a robot for a challenge that they're going to give you ahead of time. The mini sumo contest is basically like robot fighting. So your robots try to force another robot out of the circle. And the mission challenge is different than the construction, because the mission challenge, you're programming your robot on site. So if you're maybe struggling a little bit more with robotics, you may want to try the other 2 first, because this one you actually need to know how to program the robot to do the challenges that you're given when you get there. The other 2 you can pre-program to do the challenges ahead of time before getting there, so you can have a lot of help from adults with that one if that's something that you need, or from an older member. But once you enter all 3 of those or 1, it's your choice. Another contest that happens on Wednesday is our hippology contest. If you've done this before, we have a couple updates that might make you pretty happy. Once again, this is like our skill-a-thon contest. It's a team contest only, but the teams here is 2 to 5 people. So you have to find someone else your own age to compete with you. Again, the individuals can try this contest just to see what it's like, so that they can encourage people to come next year. The first phase of this contest is an evaluation class. In the past, this has happened during our horse judging contest. However, this year it will happen during the hippology contest. So the first thing you will do is evaluate a halter class. You won't have to sit around and wait for the horse judging contest to happen. If you're a hippology judger in the past, that's been a problem, so that won't happen. After that, you'll go through stations. There are 27 different options of stations. There won't be that many stations. That's just how many things you need to prepare for. Some of them might be parts of a saddle or parts of a bridle, how to groom a horse, breeds, similar to the livestock skill fund stations. And then the third phase is that you'll take a test. And once again, this is done as a team. So if you have a shy kid or a kid who doesn't like taking tests, it's great that they'll have friends. And the top team gets $1,000 to compete. And this is the top senior team gets $1,000 to compete at the national roundup or another similar contest happening. All right, here's where our major changes have happened this year. Our food cook-off contest is much different than in the past. So if you've done a food cook-off in the past or are thinking about it, you will find that this contest has changed drastically. This is a team contest, also just like the last one we discussed. So you have to have at least 2 up to 4 kids participating at one time. In the past, we used ovens and kitchens upstairs here in the ag building to do that. However, this year, we will not providing any cooking materials to you, not even an oven or anything. All cooking will be done on a hot plate or electric skillet in the main business building where we do all of our other contests. So we have a list of things you have to bring with you, or that we suggest that you bring with you, in order to make sure you have all the stuff you need to cook. So if you don't have a hot plate electric skillet, talk to your extension office. I know a lot of them have them already, So don't feel like you need to go out and spend a bunch of money. They may have the things you need to make that happen. And within a county, you don't have to have a hot plate for every kid. If you had 2 or 3, we could work on making sure that they're scheduled at different times to compete. And so the juniors are going to get their recipes in advance. In fact, the recipes are already posted online so juniors can start practicing. There are 3 recipes posted, and what happens when you get there is you'll draw out of a hat the recipe that you'll have to cook. So you'll know in advance what 3 possible recipes that you might cook, but you won't actually know what you're cooking until you draw out of that hat. And then the seniors are just going to get, I believe it's chicken breast is their ingredients, and they'll just have to create a dish using chicken breast and the pantry full of foods that we'll provide. You won't provide any of your own foods, which has been done in the past. Usually you just send us a recipe and you say, this is what I'm going to make, and then you make that. This year, we're giving you chicken breast and you are not going to tell us what you're going to make, and you're going to use the things kind of similar to some of the food cooking shows that are happening, like what's the basket one that they open, but similar to that kind of a show is what we're going for. And the reason for this is this year, for the first time ever, our young people competed in the food challenge in Dallas, Texas, and that contest is completely different than ours. So we're trying to bridge the gap between that contest and maybe what we can do here in order to prepare kids for that national competition while still having a great experience. So it's kind of a combination of the 2 of them put together. So I'll show you again online where all this is listed, but a list of all the things you might want to bring are listed, and then the recipes and the things that we'll provide are listed on the internet so you can help prepare yourself for that one. Any questions? I know that I'm not sure if anybody is on who's helping with that contest, but once again, I can answer any questions you might have. Our next contest is the presentation contest. I talked before that there's 2 different kinds of contests. The first one is the impromptu. You'll be given the opportunity to draw 3 topics out of a hat, and then you get to pick one of the topics. Most of them will be around 4-H or things that are going on in everyday lives of young people. So honestly, if you're here on campus doing another contest or coming to the workshops, this is a great way to get your feet wet if you even are okay with public speaking, because there's little to no prep work that's done for the impromptu contest. You get 3 minutes then to organize your thoughts. You'll get a note card to write some of those down on, and then you'll go in and be judged based on the things that you came up with, the answer to that question. Some tricks. If you want to prep for this contest, I would highly suggest having a couple stories or introductions that would work for a variety of topics that you could come in and adjust or tell, especially as you get to be older. For 8, 9, and 10-year-olds, it's just great that they're willing to come and speak in front of someone, so that may not be necessary. But definitely as you get older, prepping for this contest might be doing some research or having a conclusion and an introduction that you could use with a variety of topics. From what I remember of the topics that you choose, a lot of them are going to be like how you feel about something or something that you do in 4-H. So that's just kind of a way to help you prepare. The prepared contest is a little different. You'll have memorized or have really sat down and written a speech in order to talk about. You can use PowerPoints or other props if you want to, so kind of like a demonstration if you choose that object, and you can talk about anything you want to. It doesn't even have to be 4-H related. So if you really like collecting baseball cards and you want to show your collection and highlight some of the things to look for in a baseball card, perfectly fine. If you want to talk about how your family spends Christmas and talk about different traditions in different countries, perfectly fine. It does not have to be related to a 4-H project. It's just a chance for you to speak about something that you're knowledgeable on or that you would really enjoy doing. Just to let you know, also, if you've done this contest before, this year we have a new scoring rubric that we're using, so please check that out in case you're wondering what the judges are looking for during this contest. With this, the top 2 seniors in the impromptu contest and the top 2 seniors in the prepared contest all win $500 leadership trip scholarships like I talked about earlier. So if you are a senior, you want to go on a trip, this is a great way to get some extra money to be able to do that. Our last contest on Wednesday is our horse judging contest. This is an individual contest. Again, you do this all by yourself, and then counties can put teams together for the awards portion. You'll evaluate halter classes and performance classes. The reasons are the same as the produce, where juniors have 4 sets of questions or 3 questions and a reason. Intermediates, 2 questions, 2 reasons, and seniors 4 reasons. And the top 3 senior team at the horse judging contest get money to travel to national competitions. $1,000 to our first place team, $750 to the second place team, and $500 to the third place team. Then we move on to our last day of contest. The first contest we do is a dog skill-a-thon contest. So if you have a dog group, think about spending some time working on prepping for a dog skill-a-thon contest. This can be done as an individual or a team. And so that means the team will actually get together and do stuff together, or if you don't have enough kids to do that, you can do it individually. There's 4 parts to the contest. The first is a quiz bowl. It used to be a Jeopardy contest, but now it's going to be a quiz bowl. And if you're wondering what the difference is, quiz bowl is more like a one-on-one, team against team or individual against individual. Instead of asking Jeopardy questions on a board, it'll just be questions. And where those questions come from are listed in the rules. There'll be a breed identification, a parts ID, which includes internal and skeletal structures, and then a hands-on station with different scenarios, similar to in the livestock skill-a-thon and the horse skill-a-thon where they got, or hippology where they got problems. All right, and then our last contest is the table setting contest. Once again, you don't have to be enrolled in any 4-H project to do this. Anything goes. So if you want to spend, if you're kind of into decorating or you think it may be cool to come up with a table setting for a guest at a meal, this is a super easy contest to be able to compete in. It's one of our fastest growing contests. So what you're basically doing is properly setting a table for one guest at a meal or an event, and you get to choose what that is. There's no rules. You can have a garden party, you could have a birthday party, a wedding, whatever it is, you get to choose that. And you have to put together what a place setting would look like for one person. We don't have any food involved with this, but you do need to have a menu. And when you're prepping the menu, you want to make sure that you include healthy items and consider the food groups in that prep. Or my plate, which is portion control and how much of each kind of food you get. And all that stuff is listed on the web to help you and guide you through that. One of the things that we've heard complaints about is that the table size has been inconsistent, and a lot of that has to do with where a contest is held. Just so that you will have enough room for one table setting, and the judge will understand if it maybe doesn't fit perfectly on that table. But if you have a tablecloth, you may have to fold it a little bit differently or just prep a little bit differently, but you can see that room before you set up so you know exactly what your table looks like. And that's kind of the ins and outs of all the contests. So now you may be thinking, all right, you told me all about this, but how can I get to go to this? So how do you get involved? How do you get to go? Contrary to what you may have heard or what may have been told you, anybody can come to Showcase Showdown. There's no county qualification requirements. So some counties have pre-qualification contests. Some people have meetings of teams, that kind of thing. So that's completely legit. And in all honesty, if you want funding from your county, you may have to participate in those. But if you want to come down and go to the workshops and do a presentation, we don't have any rules except that you have to be a 4-H member in good standings, that you have to pre-compete in any county qualification contest. So if that's something that's being told to you in the county, please talk to us and we can work to help the county figure out how to get you here, even though you may be not able to make a county qualification or your county doesn't have a qualification. So anybody can come down as long as you're a 4-H member, 4-H leader, parent, you're between the ages of 8 and 18. We don't, once again, let COVID come. So you may want to check with your county, though, to help save money on how you participate on a team, or if there is funding available, or if they do a group transportation package or do something together as a group. Once again, you can come just to observe and attend workshops. You don't have to compete. There's lots of things for you to do. All of our events are held in the business building here on campus, including our award ceremonies. The workshops and tours are off outside of the business building. But it has a huge atrium in the middle where kind of people hang out and do cool stuff, so that way you can get to meet other people, see what people are doing, see how the contests run, and that way if you might want to do kid decorating next year, at least you can kind of see what that looks like. I'm just going to think if you have any questions, but I'm going to spend some time showing you our website. Let me just take a quick second to make sure I have the right website pulled up for you. Okay. I'm going to show you the website so that you can see exactly where to look for all this stuff at. So this is our new website. If you haven't visited it, hopefully it's a little bit more organized to help you find things. This is actually a couple pictures from Showcase Showdown. Here's one of the robotics contests on the left, and the one on the right is of the food cook-off, where someone had some sparkling grape juice as part of their meal. So if you go down here, there's a couple ways to get to our Showcase Showdown page. Get involved is a great way. So you want to get involved in something, click on that, and it's going to go and tell you about our travel opportunities, our state contests, our state opportunities that aren't contests, and then scholarships. So if you click on the state contest, Showcase Showdown has contests in it, so that's where it's going to be. It's right down here, Showcase Showdown, click on it. And then here is a complete list of those workshops that I went through. You can actually pull up a PDF that has all the workshops listed so that way you can see what they are. Under each one, there is the rules and so for instance, the cake decorating contest, you can see contest rules and information so that you kind of know all about, if you want to do cake decorating, you can read all about it. I highlighted things, but there may be additional rules that you want to know about. And then also, if you want to see who won in the past, we have results back to 2012 for all of our contests. The dog skill-a-thon contest, the food cook-off. So this is the big one that's changed a lot. So you'll see here, the junior team recipes are already listed. So they can make teriyaki beef and pepper stir fry. They can make one pot cheesy taco pasta, or they may be making creamy Tuscan chicken. So you have to prep for all three of those things and know how to properly make those. And the judge will go around and talk to the kids while they're making them. So that's why the food nutrition labels are here so that kids can know what's going on. You can also probably alter it a little bit. I think that's what the rules say in order to maybe be more nutritious or highlight maybe a different ingredient that you know will be there. So if you look at the contest rules, here's where it kind of goes through each thing. So it says you're going to supply your own equipment for the box. That's something new, and your own electric skillet or hot plates. So here's a list of the procedures. You have to bring your tote. They're going to check it. You're going to get 2 chicken breasts, and then you have to use at least 2 or 3 other unique mystery ingredients, and then 10, you can use up to 10 ingredients from the pantry. So down here a little bit farther, sorry, I'm scrolling a little fast, but you'll see that there is a list of the supply list you're supposed to bring for juniors and seniors, and then the 4-H pantry, what may be included, but there's going to be a variety of these different things to make sure that you know. So you'll want to kind of be familiar with these things if you're going to come and do this content. Typology, horse judging, our presentation. So I also let you know that the rubric has changed. So you can see that the scoring rubric is on here, so you can see exactly where those points are coming from. There's a lot of confusion in the past about those, but this will give you a better idea of where all those points are coming from. And then our livestock skill-a-thon, produce judging. If you've done produce judging before, I know there's a couple extra fruits and vegetables that were added, so you want to check out that list. The robotics contest, this one changes every year based on the different challenges. So this year you can see, I'm pretty sure it's farm and ranch transportation. So the constructed one, the one that you can prep ahead of time, the theme for that one is farm and ranch transportation. So you can read a little bit about what kind of robot you'll have to build for that one. So then with all that information in mind, you may want to go and register. So for that, you just click on this registration and general information, and it'll go down to an online registration form. Some of you may want to contact your counties. I know some counties register kids. However, the online form is open to anybody who wants to. The Film Fest stuff is here for now to be able to put that up on the regular site. It's a newer contest. But it'll take you directly to a registration page. So they're going to ask for your name, your county, your email, a registration type, that's your age. So whether you could be a guest or parent, chaperone, or an employee. So just why we ask these questions is that if you're a guest or parent and not a certified chaperone, we have to actually house you in a different location because only certified chaperones can be housed in the dorms by the kids. But we do have places for guests and parents to stay. It just may not be on the same floor next to your kids. But if you want to come as a parent, you're more than welcome to come without being a certified chaperone. If you do want to come and stay near your kids, you'll want to start the chaperone process a little bit earlier than normal, just because we do take some time for us to get everybody screened. So just think about that if that's something you're interested in doing. Then you'll select your package here of which package you want to do. If you have any allergies, you'll want to let us know, especially when you do the meals, because we do a couple meals. The horse kids and the livestock skill-a-thon kids do some sack lunches. We make sure that if you're gluten-free or have allergies, that those things are included in your sack lunch. Everybody gets a t-shirt as part of the registration, and then you can also order extra t-shirts for $10 each if you want to. You can pre-order parking permits. You can also buy those once you're here, but if you pre-order them, we'll just give them to you when you walk in the door. That allows you to park on campus. So 1 permit per day. So if you're going to be here all 3 days, you want 3 permits. There's parking off campus too, or on the street. Just it's not as convenient if you're just wanting to be able to stop and not have to worry about looking and searching for parking. Then there's going to be all the workshops that we talked about. So here they're all listed. So I think that's the CUD-powered car is right here. So it kind of sounds like a really cool one that we're going to do that afternoon. There's no time listed, so I'll get that corrected soon. And then you just want to make sure that your workshop and your contest don't overlap, because we'll just delete you from your workshop, because we're assuming that most kids want to do the contest above the workshop. So just make sure they don't overlap. We do have limited space on some of these because of the facilities or the bus transportation. So if there's one that you really want to get to, you may want to sign up early. You can always go in and update your registration if you need to. And then here's the contest. You just click if you want to be in them, yes or no. If you don't click no, we'll just assume that you don't want to be in them. I don't know that you have to. On some of them, like if you clicked Film Fest, yes, it's going to give you a place to paste your URL. If you don't have it done at this time, you can also just email me a link, or you can mail me a disc of the film if you need to. Same thing for if you do other ones, it's going to give you times to pick if you do different contests, so that way we know when you want to participate. If you're not coming to a certain time, you have other things that you really want to go to the one workshop, you can pick a time that's opposite that workshop. And so then you just submit your form, it'll come to us, and we'll let the people in the county know who submitted forms so they can put you on teams or help you out with anything that might happen. But that's how you basically register for the contest. It is currently open. And if you go up here, it'll tell you that it closes on June 7th at 5 p.m. That's when our registration deadline stops. If you want to register after June 7th or somebody wants to get in, that's fine. You can register up to June 10th if you need lodging, that package A, up to June 21st if you don't need lodging, but there is an additional $25 fee per person if you register after June 7th. So that is all I have about Showcase Showdown. I would love for you to ask or type in your questions. So if someone asked for a registration for food cook-off, it's probably, there's no reason behind why the time, it said why the time is different for food cook-off for the durations. It's not for a reason. So it basically was just to put some times in there. I think you only have 1 or 1.5 hours to cook. We're just trying to get you in about the same time. So I think there's an hour and a half at the end, and there's 3 hours at the ones in the middle. So it's really for no other reason than just to put some times in there. There was no rhyme or reason behind that. So it doesn't need anything specific. We just know that you'll be scheduled sometime between 10 and noon, 12 and 3, 3 and 5, or 5 and 6. Good question. Are there other questions, concerns, things you want to know more about? Just to let you know, one of our state staff, Dawn Sanchez, is actually going to be planning some coaches workshops for a few of our contests. I believe dog skillathon, food cook-off, hippology, and maybe livestock skillathon. So she'll do some Zoom meetings that are specifically directed towards people coaching teams to help you better understand things that'll be covered and where to find those resources. So this was just an overall view of what Showcase is, but if you want to learn more, she'll be offering those. And then as we go on in years, we'll try to make sure to add additional ones like a robotics or a film fest or a presentation so that parents or older members or coaches can help kids prep for those contests. But for this year, we're going to offer hippology, livestock skillathon, food cook-off, and dog skillathon as those leader trainings. So the question, I know that we're recording this, I'm going to read the question. The question says, can you sign up for just one thing, or do you have to come to all 3 days? We're just interested in dog skillathon. You can sign up for one thing, you can sign up for 6 things. You don't have, there's no minimum maximum. The $25 covers all 3 days or just 1 day. And then when you get on to register, you just pick the thing that you want to do. So yes, 1 day is completely fine. All 3 days is completely fine. A half day, 2 days, whatever is easiest for you, you are more than welcome to choose from the list provided. Are there any other questions that I can help to answer? If you're watching this video or you have more questions, You can always contact your extension educator, the 4-H educator, or you can contact me here and I can help you to answer those. I'm doing a similar training with extension educators tomorrow during the day to help maybe let them know the questions that you had and some of the things that we talked about on this training so that way they'll be very informed to answer any questions that you might have and get you on the right path to success. And we hope that people take advantage of this opportunity. We're trying to make it as family friendly and affordable as we can. And so we're really working to do the best we can to help people out to get here to Showdown. All right, well, with no more questions, you can, once again, you can talk or you can type. I'm going to end this recording.